r/AskReddit. Hi school teachers of Reddit, what is the one thing that you want your students to know that you'd never tell them in person? Your parents are literally the worst part of my job. Wife teaches and it is so sad to see parents not involved or involved in the worst ways. Kid is failing consistently and mom takes them out every Friday to help sell tortillas. Kid can't keep up in school and perpetually behind. Parents lie, cheat, and steal to get their kid off the hook for trouble. Kids know their parents are wrong and are embarrassed. Kids know their parents are wrong but are emboldened. Yes, I put you in a group with the kid you have a crush on intentionally. I'm stuck here with you 180 days a year, I want to see some drama. Edit, I think this is my most upvoted comment. Glad my matchmaking could make some folks smile. Also, thanks for my first gold. Edit part 2, silver 2? No paparazzi, please. But seriously, thanks. My food and nutrition teacher started off the semester telling us not to question her seating, grouping decisions because at that time she had 5 known adult couples that got married specifically because they met in her class. She showed us pictures of her at their wedding. As far as I know she had a 0% divorce rate with half of the couples being together at least 20 years. I wish I could have gone to your school and had your teacher because I'm so lonely outside of school. I think what you learn in the other classes is mostly useless rubbish, the things you're supposed to do to learn it is boring and ineffective, and the way our schools are organized is archaic and not fit for humans, much less kids. My teachers admitted the same thing. At least many people in the industry know that it's bullshit. It sucks because it saps a genuine want to learn and the fascination and fun in discovery and new knowledge away. Schools need an overhaul. I'm reminded of Boyanaban's Don't Stay in School music video in which he points out that the things we learn aren't useful, and those subjects and lessons shouldn't stay in school, but kids should. Yes, we have a new seating chart, and yes, I sat you next to her because I can tell you have a crush on her. I noticed you try harder on your work when she is around, and to be honest, you two would make a cute couple smiley face. Wow, now it makes sense. Both my English teachers, I have one for grammar once a week and the other for literature the rest, put me next to my crush and kept us together for 2 seating plans. Now I don't sit by him anymore. But my grammar teacher changed the seating plan and I asked her who's next to me and she smiled and said, "It's a surprise." And what do you know, it's him, but he moved the next lesson. What a shocker, I never knew I made it so obvious. I am no longer a teacher, but I remember several days that I felt lazy and wanted to give the class the day off. I never did because I knew the teacher's pet would rat me out. Sometimes even the teachers don't like the teacher's pet. This can work. I've told classes that I know bad days happen and sometimes, they happen to me. One day, we may have a nothing day because we need it. If I allow you to take a day off while in my class because you are having issues, I'd appreciate the same courtesy. I had a teacher in 7th grade one believe that did the same thing and everyone loved her. She was a super sweet woman who you could tell loved the students, and she gave us a similar speech on the first day. A couple days in the semester we would just watch a movie or something in her class because she was just not feeling able to teach. She was such a great teacher in the other times that nobody minded. I'd let you get away with so much more if you were actually a decent person who treated others with kindness and respect. Assholes rarely get the benefit of doubt or indifference. In my art class my friend and I are basically the stereotypical quieter girls who are actually taking the class because we like it, not just because it's a free credit. The loud, obnoxious kids usually get yelled at a lot and generally get away with a lot less. We could basically cheat and the teacher would be okay with it because we've proven we're okay at art. My friend is so amazing at art, I'm average, and we also respect her and are usually not too annoying. That class has taught me a lot about if you respect the teachers, you'll definitely have more freedom. This is also a good skill for later in life. Bosses, the not shitty ones, anyway, will cut you a lot more slack if you just show up and do your job without making their job harder. Trying hard is necessary but not sufficient for most accomplishments. Intelligence is necessary but not sufficient for most accomplishments. I can't tell the sweet, hard-working but unintelligent kid he won't be a doctor. I can't tell the smart but lazy asshole he won't be a doctor. Both end up in my remedial class and blame being in remedial class on mean teachers labeling them. I appreciate childhood as the time for dreams, but it means people make terrible decisions when they don't understand that we just put them at the highest level we think they can pass. We don't know why they are years behind their peers, just that they are. I try to see potential and inspire kids to try their best, I really do. But there's not a lot I can do if someone is dedicated to hiding their low intelligence by trying to appear as a lazy asshole instead, or trying to hide their higher intelligence by pretending to be unintelligent to get easier work. Yes. I was in honors and advanced classes in high school. Thankfully I was blessed with intelligence, but I also worked my ass off. I had a friend who struggled in school so badly, but she was always in tutoring before and after school, and she still only managed to get average grades. I had a different classmate who was super smart, like, off the chart smart, but super lazy, too, and thought he was so smart, rules didn't apply to him. You can be unsuccessful at school but successful in life. I pretend that it is important for you to do well in my subject, but in reality you'll most probably find your niche in life and be reasonably content or hopefully extremely happy. You might hate maths, English, science, but turn out to be the most amazing parent, artist, carpenter, or even a mathematician, playwright, or researcher. You might get the lowest scores in class and end up being the most successful of your peers. I feign annoyance, anger, disappointment. I reluctantly phone your parents, give you detentions, or write up critical reports. I have to, it's my job. If you do well in my subject then that's great, but if you don't then just relax. We can't all be good at everything. Oh, and do you think you hate exams, tests and homework? Your mild dislike of the work is a mere candle flame compared to the hatred that burns like a million suns, that I feel when I have to fucking mark it. Truth. Failed chemistry, got a D in AP Bio, guidance counselor encouraged seeking other options. Barely squeaked into a private no-name college, got a 4.0 in the first and second years and was able to transfer into a top 20 university, ended up getting a bachelor's in chemistry and a bachelor's in bio, and then a master's, then med school. Now I'm almost a trauma surgeon. Color my public school teachers and admin surprised when I run into them when I'm back home, haha. I can see who you have a crush on in the classroom. I always said this about my high school science teacher. I had a huge crush on a guy in my class. One day the teacher announced we'd be having a partner quiz the next day, and before the quiz gave us all numbers. Noticeably paused when he got to me and then gave the same number to my crush. There was one kid without a number, so the teacher told him to just pick one and he picked mine, and the teacher said, "Nope, any other number." Then he assigned each pair somewhere to sit and made my crush and I sit in this closet type thing that was in between his room and another room. Couldn't find the light switch and later realized there was a poster over it, so the only light was a desk lamp on the other side of the room. The best part is I was so nervous about working with my crush that I forgot what the quiz was about till I saw the title, Sexual Reproduction. There is literally no way my teacher did all that by accident. He probably thought it was hilarious. And no, nothing happened in the closet. I was painfully shy and could barely talk. I'd studied my ass off so I wouldn't look dumb in case we got paired up, but was too shy to tell him if he had a wrong answer. I was a dumb teenager. The weed smell doesn't magically disappear between the parking lot and my classroom. I posted this elsewhere on Thread, but I think it fits here. I told a student he reeked of weed. He did, as he was heading back inside from the soccer fields at the end of lunch. I think he was holding because I smelled fresh bud, but I didn't care enough to check. Just gave him a heads up to be careful. He looked so paranoid when I saw him at the end of the day. Made me chuckle. That we have much better hearing than you assume. We just choose our battles as it pertains to inappropriate comments. And sometimes I pretend not to see that thing you did just because I too found it humorous, and speaking to you about it would only result in me cracking up. Edit, well, this really blew up. I am barely seeing people's reactions to it. I appreciate all the responses. A lot of great comments. And I can definitely share stories for those interested. Haha. It's so funny when they think they're getting away with something, but no, it's just near the end of the day and you're too tired to deal with it. I freaked a student out a few months ago. As he passed me out the door I leaned down and whispered, "Don't make paper airplanes in my class anymore." He had no clue I'd seen, went white as a sheet and left. He hasn't done it since yet. Not a teacher but an evening janitor. Part of my area is where the robotics club gathers and works. You guys are so amazing. I wish you could see what I see. A group of kids who are well mixed in ethnicity and gender working hard together. I never see signs of drama when I walk by. When I look through the windows I can see that you guys are listening to each other and treating each other seriously, while also having fun. When you guys leave at night, your room is my favorite room to clean. It's always so clean already and I get to look at your projects and see what all that elbow grease is doing. It's so encouraging to know that these kids are part of our future. They stay an average of 2 hours after school every day and you can tell it's not forced. They are so enthusiastic that their energy practically shines into the hallway. I celebrate every time a new award is added to the trophy cabinet in the hall. Best post on this thread. You don't need anything I teach you to be successful in life. Math is about learning to think, not graphing functions and solving equations. Below, people assuming I don't know where the math I teach is used. I promise I do. The point I'm making is that we don't care if the general population can solve polynomial equations, we care that they learn to think. I wish someone had told me this. I cannot do math in the classroom. Formulas get cloudy, numbers mix together, and things just go really south. But at work, if I've got a spreadsheet saying I'm missing $10 in potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can likely figure out where that $10 is. I'll probably never use SOHCAH TOA in my life, mostly because I don't know how, but I can do the formulas and functions required of me if I just think it out. I teach middle school, not high school, but for me, it's that I know shit sucks at home. I see it every day when you come into my class. I see the tears you're hiding, the pain behind that class clown smile, the emotional fragility behind your tough guy persona. I know exactly what it's like to come from a broken home. I wish I could do something, but until you come to me, all I can do is try and let you know, with a look, a smile, a subtle turn of phrase, that I'm always there for you when you need an ear, or a shoulder. Shit, this hit me hard. My home life is very rough and I'm a huge class clown. Helping people smile and sometimes being stupid helps me hide from all that stuff. I don't know who said it, I think Dr. Seuss, but IDK, but the quote, "Those who smile the brightest are the saddest," has always been true for me. To my freshmen, yes, I always know when you didn't do my math because you stayed up late playing Fortnite. You added me as a friend on Epic, so I see that. Also, the amount of homework not done in lower grades when new battle passes come out is so coincidental. To a specific freshman, I support your desire to become a streamer, but editing videos should not keep you away from your homework for a whole week and your friends always rat you out when you stay home, skip to edit those videos. To all high schoolers I teach, you're dumb, but I do love you guys. I'm not stupid, and while I know you cheat on your homework, I don't care since it's only worth 10% of your grade and you're foregoing the practice you can get before the test. To the 6th graders I teach math to. Dear Lord, you make me cringe so hard I have to take ibuprofen some days. I have so much more, but my lunch break is almost over. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Reddit stories like this.